I'm holding in my hands one bottle of delicious habanero pineapple hot sauce. About to show you how to make it. Check it out.
Hey yo, I grow that hotness so y'all can watch this growing journey on my way to be a botanist. I got this garden game on my kid. You should spice it up and grow like bosses.
All right, it is time to make some sauce. We're going to start with some habaneros, bell pepper, got pineapple, some vinegars, right, and then also some powders from Super Hots. So let's get this thing going. First, chop everything up, right? Want to get your peppers into small enough chunks that they'll blend easily. For the habaneros, I just cut the tops off, and then you'll see there's some nasty looking seeds. So I pull those out. I leave seeds in ones that look fine, basically because I'm lazy. All right. So I'll get those all cleaned up and tossed into a bowl. And then I'll work on the pineapple. Cut the top off, cut the bottom off, slice the sides off. Just make sure there's none of those hard eyes. Chop it into small pieces for the blender. Ask the dog if he's ready for some blending. Yeah, I'm ready. All right, so we've got our pieces. They're going to go into this here blender. Going to need 2 batches because it's too much to fit in one go. Going to add some liquid. In this case, a half a cup of white vinegar, and then I will add a half a cup of water to go with it. I usually try to match 1-to-1 water to vinegar. And that's really all I got to do. Now it's blend like crazy. I had a tough go. I had to chop up some of my pineapple a little smaller. But there you can see, it's blending like crazy. Try to get it to a pretty smooth kind of puree and dump it all into a saucepan. Right? So all I'm trying to do here is bring it to a boil. And then once it's boiled, I'll turn the heat down to low and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. I'm going to dump in my super hot powders. So there's a 7-pot yellow, Reaper crossed with Chupatino, and a ají limon. So get those mixed in. I'm going to also add some garlic powder because I was out of fresh garlic. Normally I would put the garlic in the blender. And like I said, turn the heat on, bring it up to a boil, take it down to a simmer, and you're going to be ready. Oh yeah, salt. Salt is important in your sauce. So scientifically add about a tablespoon. And then there you can see it's boiling. So that's ready to go. Turned it down to simmer at 8:51 p.m. So we'll check on it at 9:06. Took it off the heat. It's been 15 minutes. Look at that, 9:06. You're going to let it cool down a little bit because I am going to put it back in the blender. Putting super hot liquid in the blender is a really bad idea. Not that I ever burned myself. Twice. So we have a full 6 cups and some change. That is my entire blender capacity. Usually I make a slightly smaller batch, but everybody keeps asking for sauce. So in this case, I'm going to turn it on, start it slow, work it up to faster speeds. The goal here is to just pulverize as many of those little pieces and the seeds and things that might be left, get a pretty good, smooth, even blend. If you have a really fancy blender, it'll probably destroy everything and make it pure liquid. But since I don't, I'm going to strain. So pour it in slowly and wait. It takes a few minutes and it eventually clogs the strainer. So you want to get a spoon or a spatula and push it through, right? So I'm just pushing back and forth, dragging the mash so it forces the liquid out the bottom into a bowl. Don't do this on your counter. Do it in your bowl. If you look here, I've gotten most of the liquid out. There's a nice bit of paste left on top. That's important to save. Don't toss that out yet. That's going to be how we re-thicken the sauce to the consistency we want. So, nice bright orange liquid sauce. It smells great. And so we're going to start adding a little bit of this mash in there to just re-thicken it. In this case, I end up using almost all of the mash because I used a little too much liquid. There's about a cup of vinegar and a cup of water in here right now. So whisk, whisk, whisk. Get all those chunks broken up. Again, you're trying to get it nice and smooth and consistent. At this point, I can feel that it's getting thicker as I stir. And I don't have any big chunks left. So time to taste. Tastes good. But it needs vinegar and salt. So I'm going to add a little bit of white wine vinegar. It's a nice flavor. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Again, very scientific measurements. It's important when you're making sauce. Stir that in. Get it mixed up really good. Do another taste test. See if you got it right. If not, you just keep adjusting. Eventually, you start to develop a taste for what's missing or what would be better. But now it's time to check pH. So the pH is really damn low. Less than 3. That means it's going to be shelf stable and it's ready to go in bottles. Those bottles have been cleaned and sanitized. And I've got 9 of them out because I did a little math. 6 cups is somewhere around 40 ounces. 48 ounces. Pour with a funnel. Don't try to pour directly into the bottle. You can see I used too much, so it's coming out the top. Very first bottle, I'm making a mess. Get rid of that excess. And then just fill all your bottles. Sometimes you end up with a partial at the end. Sometimes you have just a little bit left in your bowl that you're going to have to drink. Or, feed to your significant other or children. But that's really the long and short of making a simple, fresh habanero pineapple sauce. In a few minutes here, we will give it an official taste test. I'll let you know my thoughts. And then glamour shots and beats. That's really all there is to it. So, 9 bottles, about 5 ounces each.
Moment of truth. I got the fullest bottle because I need to drain that a little bit because it's too far up the neck. Got a big old spoon. Pour some out. Let's do this. Okay. Up front, it's pretty tangy. The vinegar shows. You saw at first I was breathing in. So those powders I put in with that extra kick, they're noticeable. It's not overwhelming by any means. Pineapple comes through pretty strong. It's really tasty. I like the balance of habanero and pineapple. That's really the main flavors I get. Not a lot of afterburn. Kind of hoped it would be a little bit hotter. Try another bite. It's going to go really good on chicken. I'm probably going to use that tomorrow night when I make butter chicken as well. A little Indian food. Overall, I'm going to call this a really good success. Tiny bit thinner than I like, but it's better than being thicker than I like. I don't want a sauce that I have to shake until I can get globs out, right? So this will pour well. I'm actually going to put restrictor caps on it just to keep that flow in check. I'm going to be sending it out to a few of you. That's it. Pineapple habanero hot sauce. It's building a little bit. Mouth still not as hot as my hands, but gloves next time. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and give me a subscribe, a like, and leave a comment below. If you want to see me try and make another kind of sauce, let me know. Peace.
Hey yo, I grow that hotness so y'all can watch this growing journey on my way to be a botanist. I got this garden game on lock, kid. You should spice it up and grow like bosses. I grow that hotness so y'all can watch this growing journey on my way to be a botanist. I got this garden game on lock, kid. You should spice it up and grow like bosses.